This is Kimi K2, and I just gave it a video, and it literally vibe coded this whole thing. It's kind of insane that it just did this all in one shot. As you can see, it has the actual landing page for our podcast called the Rate Limited Podcast, and it has a really nice hover effects. This is kind of similar to maybe what you would see from Google Gemini. And what I found interesting though was like a lot of this attention to detail that it did to make this site as far as design and how it actually did this, because it generated each of these assets individually. And the other part of it is just that like its design sense is really, really good. I just gave it like some of our guidelines for our brand, but the most impressive part for the mobile part, a lot of times what they get, other websites get wrong are like how to do like the correct like blur effects. You can kind of see this is a little bit kind of similar here, but it still kind of did so that little hamburger menu. And even for this type of thing, this is rate limited. It kind of did this type of like, positioning here. This is kind of how it breaks down for like what its environment did. So the original video was given here and I literally just went to Dribbble. So like this is the Dribbble website that I was trying to mimic here. I said, I really like this site and I just downloaded this video and I just gave it this video. And you see this video that's playing has these different screenshots and things like that, or it's just different parts of the website. So I was able to take inspiration from that. We have some information about our brand and kind of what we do for the podcast. And the basic instructions I gave it here is like, I want you to generate a single HTML page for our Rate Limited show. Here's the Dribbble link. And I took some of the screen shots of the video as well. And I gave it some of the brand foundations. So this is what Kimi.com does when using the model. So I went to websites and is using the agent model and basically starts to create an environment and think through things. I didn't have to give it any more prompts after this. It pretty much just one-shotted the rest of itself. So it almost looks like madness in the terms of how it's working. You start to see this little thing kick off and it keeps us these little to-dos that are going here. And so this is kind of what you see it going. It goes to this website, starts actually browsing and taking a look at the video, and then it even starts to execute like terminal commands. So you can see it execute the terminal commands where it's doing its little progress. So as it's going through these different check marks for my task, this is exactly what it's doing here. And I found it really insightful as far as like trying to see what the agent is doing. So this looks very much like Manus and the way Manus would approach it, but this is using the Kimi K2 model for building websites. And this is kind of what I'm able to see here. This is kind of what it did. This was just one generation with one prompt, and it just cost me one credit or one whatever type of thing to do. So I didn't have to go back and forth a lot with this type of thing. How is this different than like Gemini Pro or Gemini 3 Pro? I feel like this did it without me really kind of, prompting it too much. It even give me like a deployment website link, which I don't get from Gemini Pro. I get like a little bit of a preview thing. And I think this is really interesting. This is my first prompt. I also did another one where I gave it to Droid. And so with Droid, I had it do its own thing here. And you can kind of see this is like the simulator here. And so this is the website that had Droid make. So Droid is a coding agent, and I used the same Kimi 2.5 model and gave it the exact same prompts. I couldn't give it a video. I just gave it some screenshots, and this is basically what it made. This is still pretty cool overall, for basically making a podcast website. We have these different things here, and I kind of like this one, which is really nice. It's a really nice layout. It has a cool thing. I would probably have a little bit more contrast between the things, but for a first shot, one type of attempt, you see there wasn't as much detail as the one that is from the Kimi.com. So if we go to mobile view here, you see that we just have the bar up here, and we have this little animation that's kind of at the top. These three little dots are kind of going up and down. And then we have these things here. So yeah, and it has these types of cards, which are really cool for mobile. I like the website. I kind of like the minimalism for mobile, but as far as like overall like font and everything and vibe, I really do like the one that came out from Kimi. So if we go down here, just go preview, this is pretty fire because you can see this animation and like how it comes in like that. That's amazing, right? And so here's our last episode. Here's kind of what filled in the gaps there and everything like that. So that's basically Kimi K2. This is my first attempt at it. I'm going to definitely be playing around with it a lot more because this is kind of the first time I feel that I have a really good designer that I can prototype with. And I think the other part of it is that I felt like I can give it like a video of something and it can understand the video and then try to figure out what to do next.